Over the weekend, I played Snowcrest for the first time. Let me tell you all about it. This is a card drafting hand management game for 1 to 4 players, where players are going to be drafting cards onto their player mat that is set up in this 3 by 3 grid. You can only ever have 9 active cards at a time, and you're going to be trying to make sure you have a good mix of actions so you can still do everything, because you're going to need to farm and do offerings to the gods, amongst other things. On your turn, you get to do 1 action, and there are 3 actions for you to choose from. The first action is just activating one of the cards in your village already. You would take the action down at the bottom and then flip the card over. The next available action is adding a card to your village. This can be a card from your hand or one of the common villager cards that are displayed for everyone to draft from. Not counting the starter cards, each card has a barley cost up in the top left corner, the common villager cards as well as the cards that are just in each person's personal deck. And when you decide to add a card to your village, you pay the associated cost in barley, either tokens, or if you have any cards in your hand or face up on your player mat that show barley in the top right corner, you could flip those over or discard them to use that barley to pay for this cost. Once you've paid the barley cost for the card you want to add to your village, you decide where you want to place it. It can be in an empty spot, you just put it right there, or it can be in a spot that already has a card. If it's a card from your personal deck, it'll just go to your discard pile. If it's a common villager card, it'll go to the bottom of that deck. And then once you've decided where that card is going to go, you would take the action on the bottom of the card and then flip the card over, which is why the 2 cards I've added to my tableau at this point are both face down. Now you're going to want to consider the cards that you're activating and the placement of the cards that you're adding to your tableau, because once you have 3 cards in a row, on your next turn you have to rest. This is actually the only way to take the rest action, which is the 3rd available action to players on their turn, is if at the beginning of your turn you have 3 face down cards in a row. And it can be diagonal like this, or vertical, or horizontal. Either way, if you have 3 face down cards in a row on your player mat at the beginning of your turn, you have to rest that turn. When you rest, you're actually going to get resources for icons that you have showing. So for your starter cards, they need to be face down for you to get any icons, but for the cards that you eventually add after your starter cards, those are going to have icons if they're face up. So these cards are doing a lot, okay? Each card has an action at the bottom that is available for you to activate if they're in your village, and you will activate them when you add them to your village. And each card that you add after your starter cards is going to have 1 or 2 icons up here to provide you different resources or benefits.